So the question is, your approach to AI seems to involve solving every issue perfectly or very close to perfection. Do you see any future for more approximate, rough and ready approaches, or are these dangerous? More approximate, rough and ready approaches might produce interesting data that the math theorist types can learn something from, even though the people who did it didn't have that in mind. The thing is, though, there's already a lot of people running out and doing that, and really failing at AI, or even approximate successes at AI, result in much fewer sudden thunderbolts of enlightenment about the structure of intelligence than the people who are, busily producing ad hoc AI programs because that's easier to do, and you can get a paper out of it, and you get respect out of it, and prestige, and so on. So it's a lot harder for that sort of work to result in sudden thunderbolts of enlightenment about the structure of intelligence, and the people doing it would like to think, because that way it gives them an additional justification for doing the work. The basic answer to the question is no. Or at least I don't see a future for Singularity Institute funding going as marginal effort into, sort of rough and ready forages like that. It's being done already. Probably too much of it is being. I'm trying to figure out how to put it. Like, if we had more computing power and our AIs were more sophisticated, then the level of exploration that we're doing right now would not be a good thing. As it is, it's probably not a very dangerous thing because the AIs are weak and, because the AIs are weak, more or less. It's not something you would ever do with AI that was powerful enough to be dangerous. If you know what it is you want to learn by running a program, you may go ahead and run it. If you're just foraging out at random while other people are doing that, and even then they probably won't understand what their answers mean until you on your end, the sort of math structure of intelligence type people understand what it means. And mostly the result of an awful lot of work in domain-specific AI is to tell us we don't understand something. And this can often be surprisingly easy to figure out simply by querying your own brain without being overconfident. So I think that at this point, what's needed is math structure of intelligence type understanding, and not just any math, not just, I'm going to make a bunch of Greek symbols and now I can publish a paper and everyone will be impressed by how hard it is to understand, but, sort of very specific math, the sort that results in thunderbolts of enlightenment that, where the usual example I hold up is the Bayesian network causality insight, as depicted in Judea Pearl's Probabilistic Reasoning and Intelligent Systems and later book Causality. So if you sort of look at, the total amount of papers that have been written with neat Greek symbols and things that are, mathematically complicated and hard to understand, and compare that to those Judea Pearl books I mentioned, although one should always mention that this is the culmination of a lot of work, not just by Judea Pearl. That'll give you some notion of just how specific the math has to be. In terms of solving every issue perfectly or very close to perfection, there's kinds and kinds of perfection. There's as long as I know that any proof is valid, I might not know how long it takes to do a proof. If there's something that does a proof, then I may not know how long that algorithms takes to produce a proof, but I may know that anything it claims is a proof is definitely a proof. So there's types and types of perfection and types and types of precision. But basically, yeah, if you want to build a recursively self-improving AI, have it go through a billion sequential self-modifications, become vastly smarter than you, and not die, you've got to work to a pretty precise standard.